Hi, friends. This is Adam Shoemaker, Rector at St. Stephen's Episcopal Church in downtown Charleston, back for another edition of Rector's Corner. And I'm very happy to have with me today Meg Cutshall, who is the new director of the summer camp at Camp St. Christopher. Meg, thank you very much for making the time to be part of this conversation. And I'd just love if we could begin by having you share a little bit about your background and what you were doing before you came to Camp St. Christopher.
Yeah, of course. So I am originally from central Pennsylvania, and before coming to St. Christopher, I was at a United Methodist Camp and Retreat Center in the Susquehanna Conference of the United Methodist Church. And that was my home camp. Grew up being a camper there and working on summer staff and moved into a full-time role. So I've been there the 2 years prior to coming to St. Christopher and really loved it. And so I'm really happy to be in South Carolina, be in this diocese, and be in the St. Christopher community.
Well, and what drew you to this position? What made you apply?
Yeah, I think a lot for me dealing with, deciding to come down to South Carolina and be a part of the community here was really finding a sense of sanctuary, a safe place here. Growing up, I really found my sanctuary at camp. I was, a church kid through and through, but I really found, my sense of purpose, my sense of calling at camp. And so for me, finding another space that felt like holy ground, that felt like a sanctuary, not only for the people who serve in those positions, but also for the people that we welcome to our site was really important to me. And so I immediately fell in love with not only the natural beauty at St. Christopher, but just the sense of peace and sanctuary that is so evident from the first time I walked in the gate, really.
Yeah, it really is a treasure and a jewel of our diocese. How long now, Meg, have you been on the job, and what has your first months on the job been like?
Yeah, I started at the end of September, so a couple months in. My first couple months have been extremely fun. It has been a lot of getting to know this community, really taking some intentional time for debrief from last summer. I think that's a really important part of planning for next summer and just getting a real good feel of this system. And so I've really been able to dig deep and get to know the people who were boots on the ground last summer and review a lot of what happened. And it's just been such a powerful time for me to connect with people and things like this are a great opportunity. So, but yeah, my first couple months have been very eventful and very fun, and I wouldn't want to start any other way.
And I assume you are right now uh, hiring for the upcoming summer season.
Yes. So right now we are recruiting staff. So we have some folks who are returners who have been here in previous summers and getting out to local colleges and universities and connecting with local churches and getting young people connected to our ministry.
So I know that registration, at least for Episcopal kids, has already begun. What can you tell us about summer camp 2026 and the upcoming season?
Yeah, so early registration for Episcopal and ACNA families started a bit ago, and so that is open for members of our community. And general registration opens on January 12th, which is a Monday at 9 a.m. But in terms of next summer, we're really excited about camp. Really excited to dig in on faith formation and just building a strong culture here. And so I'm really excited. We've had really good response to the sessions that we're offering and getting chaplains connected and all that good stuff. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I know a lot of our staff that we've hired so far and our year-round staff at St. Christopher. It's going to be a blast. So we're really excited.
Yeah, for those listening in, I've had the privilege of serving as a camp chaplain in previous summers. I'm also a parent of campers who've enjoyed their time there. It really is a fun and meaningful time for young people, and also for all the counselors and chaplains and other adults who support that programming. I wonder how those listening into this conversation, those at a congregation like my own of St. Stephen's, can be supportive of you and the camp staff moving forward.
Yeah, I think that just being connected with our local community is so important. And I think for those listening and those connected to our ministry in any way, I think telling stories is a really powerful way to spread what we're doing. We send postcards and we send emails and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, I think telling stories about experiences people have had at St. Christopher or powerful moments from summer camp is really important. And so I think in this season of recruitment and camper registration, but feeling like summer is still so far away. I think just sharing the things that are important to you about this space. I know for me, I can sit around a table and talk about my childhood memories from summer camp or the stories from when I worked on summer staff and, all the funny memories and the powerful moments. And I find myself returning to those at different moments when it feels not like summer, when it feels quiet and kind of in a period of waiting for summer camp. So I would just encourage people who have been to St. Christopher and have, had important experiences in their faith or being introduced to our community, just to share those and encourage others to, start a conversation about camp. And I think sometimes that sparks people reliving some of those memories and really feeling drawn to the ministry of camping.
It's an interesting idea because Camp St. Christopher is such a long-standing camp in the area that has served not just Episcopal kids, but kids across the region. And now there are so many in our community, so many adults who probably do have cherished memories and stories of their time at Camp St. Christopher. It would kind of be an interesting idea to have a web portal or some online opportunity for people to share their stories or some way where you could capture some of those stories because there's a lot of them in this area.
Yeah, it's been really fun just to connect with different people that are involved in this community or maybe work at camp and just hear about maybe their experiences in fifth grade when they came for an outdoor education field trip or, as a middle schooler, they came to summer camp or even hearing stories from summer staff past, some of whom are now on our full year-round staff. But just hearing how this place has evolved and grown, and it's so inspiring for me as a new person in this community. And I know that I've been really energized just by hearing, people's testimonies.
Hmm. Well, and Meg, we've certainly had Laura, who used to be our associate priest at St. Stephen's, come and speak about camp. But someday it'd be wonderful to have you come and visit us. I'm sure you will probably be making trips around the diocese to talk about camp as well.
Definitely. Yep, I'm looking forward to it.
And as far as basic information for those who want to learn more about summer camp and how to register and the programs that are being offered, what's the easiest way for people to do that?
So we are very active on social media, so that's one way to connect with us on Facebook or Instagram. Also, our website, stchristopher.org. There's a tab on our website specifically for summer camp, and some things on there that I would just point out to anybody who might be looking for more information or maybe has never been to St. Christopher. Our registration portal is on there. So we use a platform called Camp Brain. So if you've never come to camp before, it'll have you create an account, and that's how you'll register for camp with us. But there's also frequently asked questions, lots of them. So if you're, having questions or wondering what to expect, our website does a really great job. at just filling in some of the gaps. And then also we have virtual tours of our location. I know I'm a person who likes to know what to expect, and so when I'm going somewhere, I always Google, where am I staying? What's it gonna look like? And so we have videos of our cabins and our chapels and things like that that might ease the mind of maybe a first-time camper or a first-time camper family. And then in terms of programming, we have tons of information on our website about our sailing program. We have our low ropes course that we call Need a Friend. We do rock wall, and information about all of those programs and our offerings in 2026 are going to be on our website. So that's where I would point people.
Terrific, terrific. Well, Meg, thank you for saying yes to our diocesan camp and agreeing to join the rebuilding of that camp. And it's been a pleasure for me to see that in recent years. It's a really important ministry of our diocese. For those listening in, please do check out the websites that Meg has talked about. Pray for our camp. You can support our camp monetarily to help to defray the cost of camp. But we certainly, at St. Stephen's, for those listening in from our congregation, can provide scholarship assistance. We never want finances to be a reason why a kid doesn't go to camp. But please do consider, if you have a young person in your life, signing them up for camp this year. And Meg, good luck as you continue to get your feet on the ground and build your staff. It'll be a pleasure to get to know you better as you move about the diocese.
Thank you very much. This has been great.
And thank you for all those listening in. I'll be back next month for another edition of Rector's Corner. In the meantime, friends, you stay safe and well, and you keep the faith. Bye bye, everybody.